Okay. Microphone on, camera's on. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Studio Sunday. I hope you're all having a lovely weekend, and yeah, I see a lot of familiar names. Thank you guys for joining me again. Yeah, as always, feel free to let me know if there's anything wrong with the sound. Is my mic a good volume? Is the music okay? Hello, hello. Okay, I've got my chat open so I can see. Hello. Hi Lucky, hi Moore and Grace. Okay. So we actually have a nice bright day today. So I've got my curtains open and I don't even have my studio lights on, which is really nice because they get really hot. So hopefully it stays that way. Oh yay, Autumn, hello. Okay, so if you missed the last Studio Sunday, essentially I just wanted to start these live streams just to hang out, we can paint, we can sketch, and yeah, just have a nice hangout to end the week. And I'm gonna be painting in my Etcher watercolor sketchbook once again with gouache. And yeah, so this sketchbook set, it's a sketchbook and, whoops, first bump of the day. It's a sketchbook and palette set, and it comes with the sketchbook, comes with this little travel gouache palette. Super cute. Comes with this gouache color mixing guide that I made, and really excited about this little guy. And it also comes with this art print. This is a gouache painting I did. Super cute. I was really happy with how the leaves and the foliage came out in this one. And it also comes with some stickers, which I forgot to grab, but of course they're also very cute. I purchased the first of your painting series, excited to start it. A bit nervous. Oh, I'm so excited. I really hope you enjoy. Yeah, so I have this Etcher set linked down below. I have my Craftamo brush set linked down below, and also my Craftamo subscription box set, which comes with those monthly paint-along sessions. Oh, and I should mention that the Etcher set also includes 90 days free access to my portrait painting class in gouache on Etcher Studio. So, yeah. Okay. I've got my chat pulled up, and I think my setup is a little bit better today. I'm learning a little bit more every time. So, if you were here last Sunday, I painted this landscape, and I'm definitely not super confident in my landscape painting skills. So we're gonna do another landscape today. I hope that's okay. Oh, so many people here, so many familiar names. Okay, so I've got the reference here. I hope you can see that. And I also have it linked down below. So if you want to sketch or paint along, you can. Okay. Okay, so I've got my little palette here, and I also have my bigger palette because there's a few extra colors in here that I think I'm gonna want to dip into. Oops. So I want you guys to be able to see my mixing space. So I don't know if I'm gonna zoom in much more, but I hope this is big enough for you guys. And I'm just gonna tape off the edges once again with this Scotch Delicate Surface Tape. Just so you know, the description has 2 Craft Camo brush set links and the first link doesn't work. Okay, that's good to know. Let me check. Okay, so the second link does work, so I'll just fix that later. But yeah, okay. So you can still get to the subscription set and you can still get to the brush set. Okay, thanks for letting me know. All right, I don't want to tape over my previous guy, so I might have to cut the tape down a bit. Oops. So as always, feel free to ask any questions as we go. This isn't going to be a tutorial or anything like that. I'm just going to be hanging out. Just gonna be painting with you guys. But I am happy to answer any questions as best I can in the moment. So I'm just gonna cut my tape so I don't accidentally peel this guy. My goal today is to not bump the camera or microphone. I've already bumped the camera once, but so last Sunday, we realized that the reference on the live stream was a little warmer and a little more saturated than the reference I was looking at on my phone. And that does seem to be the case again, but it's not as drastic. I did bump up the saturation and the warmth on my phone as someone suggested last time, so I think it's pretty close. Yeah, okay. I also like to look up at the stream feed and I look at the little reference thumbnail, and that's kind of helpful as well. Okay. All right, let's get started. So I think I'm gonna start with a wash of sienna again, but I might do I might do a little sienna and a little brilliant pink just to have some fun here. Emily, is your technique for landscapes similar or the same as with your portraits? If not, how do they differ? You love drawing faces. Yeah, so honestly, I can't speak too much on my landscape techniques because I'm so new to it that I'm just sort of figuring it out as I go. It feels I feel like I'm in the Wild West. I'm just trying to figure it out as I go. I don't know why that would make it the Wild West, but you know what I mean. Maybe it's the vibe of these references here. But I think there's a lot of overlap. I like to start with the darkest darks and work up to the midtones and the lightest lights. And I am thinking about similar things like shape and color and edges, you know, what's hard, what's soft. So there is a lot of overlap. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I've got this big mop brush that comes with my subscription box. I forget which month this comes with. It comes with the eye painting, which is one of the later boxes. I'm thinking 3rd or 4th, maybe. But I love this brush for an initial wash of color. Okay, so I'm gonna take some burnt sienna and a lot of water. And I've got this Holbein Brilliant Pink here, and I sometimes like to throw that into an underpainting as well. Sorry guys, I had to sneeze. Might be because I'm staring at, like, there's a bright window right here, and I'm one of those people that has that thing where I sneeze when I see the sun, so forgive me. Okay. And once again, I'm not going to be too delicate with this underpainting or anything. I just want to honestly just put some color on the paper so it's not so intimidating. Kind of get rid of that stark white, and I really don't mind if I go out of the lines because I like when that peeks through at the end. Okay. Bless you, thank you. Thank you guys. I hope that wasn't too loud. I tried to move away from the microphone. So yeah, let me know if you guys are sketching or painting at home. I covered up my sketch a little more than I intended to, but that's okay. Let's see. Hi Emily, how are you? I'm doing good on this Sunday. How are you? Excited to catch your live stream. Thank you, Kitties and Coffee. Nice to see you. Boop, boop. Really happy I got to join the live stream. Hello, hello. What's the best way to make soft and lost edges when painting portraits in gouache? I just can't figure it out. So you can work like while the gouache is still wet, you have to be sort of prepared to soften out those edges. You can also go back in with a damp brush, just ever so slightly damp to soften an edge. I've even done this thing before where I've let my gouache dry and I've taken a larger brush and just ever so slightly damp and just one pass over the area I want to soften. If you do more than one pass, it starts to squish it up and muddle it up, but one pass seems to just sort of activate the gouache to slightly soften. I don't do that super often. A way that I often soften my edges is not maybe the typical way, and I think it's one of the things that makes my style, and it's that I will find a transition color between two colors. So say somebody's hair in a portrait, I'll take the color of the hair and the color of the background and I'll add a stroke of that color between those two things. And a lot of artists do that, but I think I do it a lot more than physically softening edges, if that makes sense. Oh, I guess I can show it on this guy here. So like this edge of this bunny fur, instead of just like adding water and blending it into the background, I added a transition color. I call them transition colors, but it sort of shows where the light would be shining through the fur. But I do that a lot in my paintings, not just with hair and fur. That just happened to be the example there. Okay, so I'm gonna use my blow dryer, so I'm gonna mute my microphone and then we'll get back to the painting. Okay, so that's nice and dry. So as I'm learning how I like to do landscapes, I'm trying to figure out if I want to get in this background first or if I want to get in the darkest shadows first. I think last week, I was gonna say yesterday, this wasn't yesterday. Last week, I think I left the sky till almost last and I used it to carve out the rocky shapes. This is why this isn't a landscape painting tutorial, because yeah, I'm just genuinely trying to figure it out as I go. But it's kind of fun to do that with you guys. So I think I'm gonna start how I'm comfortable. So I'm going to start with the darkest darks. Okay, I've decided I'm gonna do it, and I bumped the microphones. Oh boy. All right, so let's see. Lucas, hi. Kim says I'm painting with you. It's Nisa here, says I'm also good and happy to be here. Yay! Caterpillar watching and learning. I hope I hope you can learn from this. I'm not the best at landscapes, but we're figuring it out together. Sozy says, I thought I would try to paint some still life using what I learned with the second box, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, yay! I really liked how your painting turned out with the second box. The oranges looked great. It's been so wonderful seeing on Instagram people's paintings from the subscription boxes. It's the best. Can anyone else see a face in the paint on the palette side profile? Oh, I probably messed it up. Over here? Oh, like this is the brow bone? Brow ridge, nose, lips, chin. Oh yeah, I see it. Okay, so I'm gonna mix my darkest dark, and I usually start with burnt umber, go into ultramarine blue. So yeah, I'm gonna do my best to respond to every question. I really apologize if I accidentally miss any. I sort of just, I paint for a bit and then I check the chat, and then I paint for a bit and I check the chat. And it usually works, but I'm sure sometimes some slip past me, so I apologize in advance. Okay, so I'm gonna start where I see the darkest darks here. And I'm almost sketching with the paint because I've kind of lost my sketch underneath. But gouache is pretty forgiving in a way that like watercolor I find isn't so forgiving. I really like mixing my own black because, I don't know, as you can see on camera, this looks like straight up black, but when it dries and when you see it in person, you can see, oh, there's, I added some alizarin crimson, I don't know if I mentioned that. There's some warmth there. Okay, this sort of bolder Isn't this so cool that this is a natural occurring structure? My brain kind of can't quite believe that. It's so cool. Okay. This is just a study, Emily. It doesn't have to be perfect. I think it could be helpful with these to use some sort of grid on the reference and on the sketch. Add some cadmium red to our dark mix here. Just sort of guesstimating where these shadows are. Most likely I'm not, super accurate, but hopefully it will be close enough that we can get a good study of this reference. Okay, I'm gonna take some of this to lighten it a little bit, and I'm going to go into this shadow shape here. And there's a lot of little nooks and crannies and visual information there, but when I squint, it's almost just like an isosceles triangle. So let's start with that, and then we can add some details later, carve out some smaller shapes later. Yeah, as was asked earlier, if I paint landscapes similarly to how I paint portraits, I do tend to, with all of my paintings, work general to specific. I think I talked about this last week, but I'm always thinking about that. We're starting very general, and then we're gonna work to specific as we go. Okay, so the underside of these rocks are in shadow, but they're sort of reflecting. There's that bounce light off of the rocks below. So I'm gonna add some cadmium orange that I have in my palette here. And a little cad red light. So it's super warm and not quite as dark as some of these shadows here. I hope it's okay that this is similar to last week's painting. I think I'm going to use this sketchbook as a way to explore new things with gouache. I mean, I'm sure I'll do portraits in here and animals, but yeah, I'd love to do a lot of landscape practice. I'd love to do some florals. So speaking of using a transition color to soften the look of edges, I'm going to do that on this shadow here, and I'm adding some brilliant pink to my mixture and a little bit of cadmium red light and a little bit of cadmium yellow. And I'm just placing that next to this shadow shape, and even though I haven't physically softened that edge, optically, I guess, it looks like the edge has been softened, because there is that sort of color gradient, there is that transition, even though this edge isn't necessarily blended into this color, you know what I mean? But I kind of like that blockier look. Add a little more cadmium red light. And I promise I'm going to look at the chat in a second. Hope you guys are all staying warm and safe wherever you are. Just added a tiny bit of lilac to this mix to neutralize the color a little bit, to make it a little more cool. Okay, so I'm looking at the stream, and it's kind of cool to step back from my painting and see it on the screen. It helps me kind of see where I'm going. I think those shadow shapes look good. I need to add the underplane of this rock too. Oh, I should have done that when I did this. Oh well, okay, let's go back in here. Maybe this painting will come together faster than the last one. Adding some cadmium red light. Just gonna add some places of more extreme warmth that can be covered up later, but would be nice to see that peeking through. I think especially when there's such harsh lighting, like you can tell the sun is just blasting in this photo. So we get those really sharp shadow shapes. I think especially in those lighting conditions, we get these pops of red next to shadows. Or at least I always feel like I see that. Last week I made some like compositional alterations, I guess you could say, to the reference image as I was painting, but I feel like I don't need to do that so much with this one. Like I feel good about where the horizon line is. Okay, I'm gonna look at the chat. Let's see what I missed. Okay, we got Coco says, I've been following you since forever. Hi, hello, Coco. Thank you for joining a live stream. Does your gouache dry out in the palette, the airtight one? I'm trying to figure out if I should buy it. Dry gouache frustrates me. So, not so much. It depends on the colors. Certain colors tend to dry out more than others, and I think it's also brand specific too. Like I find opera dries out faster than other colors, but I use my gouache enough that I'm constantly stirring it up and refreshing it, so I don't have a lot of issues there, but I do add watercolor blending medium a little bit to each well, and that helps as well. Lucas, I'm so excited that you're painting landscapes. Yay, me too. I'm scared, but I'm excited. Let's see. Sozy looking downwards, yes. Now I see two faces, one to the left, younger, one to the right. Oh, I love that you guys are seeing stuff in the mixing palette. Let's keep that up. Do we see anything now? I kind of see a sort of cartoon gentleman with a big nose, and there's his ear and a bald head. Like a Wallace and Gromit universe looking person. Let's see. It's Nisa says, I learned a lot from your gouache tutorials. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad. I started painting and drawing after 10 years, so your videos helped a lot. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. It's wonderful that you're picking up your painting practice again. Autumn says, procrastinating, pulling my gouache out, still need to paint my oranges from box 2. That's fair, that's fair. And you can always paint something else with your gouache set if you don't want to paint the oranges right away. I'm just watching and enjoying. I need to finish box 1 and start box 2. I'm loving everything so far. Oh, that is so wonderful to hear. Really glad you're enjoying. Miss Adopt a Cat, good morning. A little late this morning, going to get out my Craftamo subscription oranges and paint along. Yay! Okay, so a lot of people are painting their oranges. That's awesome. Cursed Spirit, hello. Caterpillar says it's cold in Florida today. Oh my goodness. Isn't that just crazy? Everybody's cold. I think my question disappeared in the void of the chat thread. I was wondering if you were going to make portraits as well during future live streams. Oh, absolutely. That's a promise. There'll be portraits for sure. And yes, it did seem to disappear into the void, so thanks for sending it again. And that goes for all of you. Like if you're like, oh, she didn't answer my question, send it again, you know. As long as you're not spamming, all's good. Death Nell says, hi Emily, do you have any tips for starting an art business? It's my dream. Oh boy. Yeah, I think definitely really plan out what your income streams would be and what your main goals are, in terms of like, where do you want to prioritize your business? You know, do you want to make videos? Is that going to be your main thing? Do you want to sell your art? Is that going to be your main thing? Yeah, I don't know if I have a ton of tips here right now, but I think go for it. Yeah, the only thing stopping you is you, so just start. You can do it. We all believe in you. Rasmus says, I'm so done with Pinterest, like almost all the references are AI. I'm feeling the same way. I'm feeling the same frustrations. It's awful. How can I find real images? Yeah, it's awful. For me, I had a lot of references saved on Pinterest from before AI times, so that's helpful. And they do have settings now that you can turn off AI posts in your Pinterest settings. It's not 100% accurate. I still see a lot of AI stuff, so I don't know. I just hope that they get better at filtering that out. The watercolor medium is a great idea. Thanks, Emily. Yeah, I love it. A dog to the left looking at us. Did I mess it up? This guy? I see like a Shar-Pei dog maybe here. Like nose, eye, mouth. Okay. I'm going to keep painting. But thank you guys for all your messages. Okay, a little bit of water first. All right. I feel like it takes me a second to get back into the swing of things. When I'm painting, I never want to be placing brush strokes just for the heck of it without having a purpose for that brush stroke, if that makes sense. So I'm really trying to think about what it is I want to do here. And as I think, I'm gonna add a tiny little triangle of light there. And right there. So to get these triangle shapes, you can use your flat brush and you just use the corner and you just sort of apply pressure to the corner and then lift and you can get little triangles. All right, what do we want to do next? So I think here might be where I should start getting in some background. Okay. I'm scared, let's do it. I'm scared, let's do it. Isn't that what making art is? It's all about? So I haven't even added white to my palette yet because I really like to hold off for as long as possible there. Okay, I'm going to wipe a little palette space. Sorry to all of the faces and dogs in here. If you're enjoying the live stream, feel free to give it a thumbs up. That helps with the algorithm. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm scared. Okay, I'm gonna work top down, I think. And I'm gonna try and just get a general color for the sky. I'm not gonna think too much about the clouds or anything. Okay, I've got a clean water cup over here, which is helpful so I don't contaminate our blue sky with the sort of red rocks. So I've got this light blue color here, and that's just sort of like a cheat color. It's essentially just, not essentially, it is just ultramarine blue and titanium or permanent white. But it's very helpful for a sky, and I use it a lot in portraits. So let's... And I've got a neutral gray in my palette as well that I'm gonna add here. This music is kind of funky right now. Okay. So I want to make sure to mix in enough water here that we can get a nice smooth application. There we go. And we'll add some more gray. and I don't mind if I overlap my rocks a bit. It will actually help. It will help make the rocks feel like they are in the foreground when we go over them later. Okay. Now I am gonna add some white on my mixing palette. So it's the lightest towards the horizon here. Okay, so this interior shape here, I'm actually gonna add a tiny bit of leaf green. This guy here. It's maybe too much, but that's okay. Now this would probably be easier with a smaller flat brush, but I'm gonna stick with the 3/4 of an inch. But I don't know why I said but like that. If you know me, you know I always like to use a larger brush than what's needed. Get more interesting shapes that way, I think. I feel like, yeah, I can move this boulder out a little more. It's cool, it really pops forward after you add the sky. Very cool. Let's see. In one of your early videos, you mentioned that you prefer to mix colors as you go instead of pre-mixing them. Is that still the case, especially for portraits where subtle hue and value transitions are needed? Yeah, that's still the case. And I feel like, especially because subtle hue and value shifts are needed, is why I like to mix as I go, because I can make these tiny little shifts to my color mix puddles. And I feel like no matter how much I, broke down the colors in a portrait ahead of time, I would not get all of the color mixes that I really need. And I feel like it would be, me personally, I think I would start to get lazy with my color mixes. Yeah, I genuinely just think I'm not much of like a planner kind of person. My brain isn't a planner. My brain isn't a planner, so it just doesn't work for me personally. But I think if it works for somebody else, then do it, you know what I mean? If the chaos of mixing as you go, if that doesn't work for you, then by all means, you gotta just do what works for you, right? Okay, so those mountainous, or those hills in the background are very sort of muted and lavendery. So I'm gonna add some lilac here and a tiny bit of our dark mixture. And I'm gonna add a little ultramarine blue. And a little bit of this viridian hue. Oh my gosh, that's way too much. Okay. We adjust. More lilac. I actually think that's pretty good. Adding a little violet. Okay. It's probably too dark in value, so let's lighten it. I definitely made these peaks more exaggerated than I needed to, but that's okay. Adding some warmth towards the bottom. Great questions, everyone. I'm learning so much. Oh, that's awesome. Are you enjoying your new home? Miss Adopt a Cat? I am enjoying my new home. Yeah, I'm really liking it here. And I feel like my dog Luna's finally adjusting to feeling like this is her home, which is nice. Thanks for asking. Kelly says, loving the subject matter here. Oh, yay. Yeah, I know it's not my typical subject matter, so I'm glad people are enjoying it. Making a mess of my mixing palette. Are there any gouache colors you think are over or under hyped? You've used a few colors that are new to me. Yeah, so my toolkit is definitely lilac. I use lilac a lot. I love having a linden green by Winsor & Newton, or leaf green by Holbein, I think is similar. I really like brilliant pink, and I really like cobalt green pale. Oh, thank you, Jefferson, for subscribing. Oops, sorry for bumping the mic. And as for overrated, overrated colors. I mean, to be fair, like different colors work for different artists and how they like to mix their colors. I don't know, I feel like I use a wide range of colors. I don't use a lot of phthalo blue. I find it's really overpowering, so that's one that I don't typically reach for. I think it's good to have a cool blue, but yeah, it just really goes to a color mix. It's just like you add a tiny dip of your brush in phthalo blue, you add it to your mix, and it's phthalo blue. Let's see, what else? Seeing you cut the rock shapes in the blue sky is so cool. Yay! Yeah, that's something really, really satisfying. Gentle with Giants. Are there any? Oh, yeah, already answered that. Oh, Liza, hello! Don't worry about being late. Thank you so much. Pearline Green was a discovery for me. Okay, so yeah, I think that one must be great for landscapes, for like shadows in greenery and trees. I think I've never tried it. I should try it. Yeah, phthalo green does the same explosive impact. A lovely sea green, okay. See, I want to try painting some seascapes and some more green landscapes. And I might find that the colors I typically avoid for other subject matters are more necessary for landscapes. Yeah, phthalo green in a portrait palette it doesn't really work too well. It's just too overpowering. Okay, I'm gonna clean my palette a little bit here. Oops. I hope you guys are all having a lovely time. I see there's 80 viewers right now, according to my streaming platform. So hello everyone, and I hope you're having a nice chill Sunday, whatever you're doing. It's a nice day to make art. It's a nice day to, I don't know, do a little bit of cleaning. Last week I talked about the books I was reading, and one of the books I was reading was The Housekeeper and the Professor, and I finished it this week, and oh my goodness, I just adored that book. It instantly became one of my new favorites. Highly recommend Housekeeper and the Professor. Really, really, really heartwarming, gorgeous story. And it's the same author that wrote The Memory Police, which I haven't read, but that one was quite huge, so I should probably see if I can pick it up. I think my library has it, but it's probably a long wait. Love that book. Anne says, yes, it's so, you know when you're reading a book and you're like, oh, you're reading it and you're like, I know I'm gonna reread this in the future. That's one of those books. And I liked that there was a lot of baseball in the book. I actually really enjoy baseball, so that was nice. And I've never been a math person, but it was fascinating to read about. Like, it wasn't too much math where it was like off-putting for me. It was just fascinating and kind of made, like, I could understand why math is fun for some people. Okay, Memory Please is also good, very different vibe. Yeah, I bet. I feel like it's not so heartwarming, but I do want to give that a read as well. Okay. I guess let's get into more of the foreground here, more of the rocks. We've been streaming for an hour. Okay, so for this sort of main rock mixture, what do I need here? I think I'm gonna start with some Naples yellow. I like to try and get sort of the closest, I start with the closest color, and I feel like Naples yellow is a good place to start. Okay, add a little cad red light. A little cad orange. Maybe too much cad orange. And I'm gonna add some neutral gray. Some brilliant pink. So there are a lot of subtle shifts in these rocks. Okay, I'm scared, but let's go. I'm gonna mix into this darker mix here. Okay, so why don't we sort of go left to right, because I'm right-handed, so I don't want to be smudging too much. We'll probably have to, you know, work lighter. Words, Emily. What I'm trying to say is we're gonna start a little bit darker and then we're gonna work lighter, and that's gonna make the rocks look more three-dimensional. So I kind of cut into this shape here with the sky, so we can bring that back. Okay, this part's fun. This is fun. I have to bring this sort of crease shadow back, occlusion shadow. Oops. Got some paint where I didn't really intend to, but that's okay. Go back and fix later. Liza says, I heard a mathematician say that she finds math really creative, but I can't understand. Math felt like torture for me. It also felt like torture for me in school. It was like, please pass this class. Yeah, but that book, The Housekeeper and the Professor, really kind of talks about how math can be creative. And yeah, I never thought about math in that way. It's really beautiful. I definitely think people are just born with different brains, because I definitely do not have a math brain. I just simply do not. Do you have fantasy book recommendations? I read all the major ones. I'm reading Annihilations and I'm loving it. So I don't read a lot of the contemporary fantasies. I've read Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and I'm just finishing up the Game of Thrones series. But as for more sort of fairy kind of fantasy books, I don't know so much about that world. I'm the one that needs the recommendations, I think, for that genre. I think I'm just so picky with that genre because of how good The Lord of the Rings is. Like, nothing can compare for me. Yeah, flat brushes are just great for this kind of rocky structure. I feel like I've kind of lost the shapes here. Okay. I'm in super concentration mode. Squinting at my reference. Gunter, hello. Hi, what did I miss? What did you miss? Well, I'm painting this landscape. And I'm just trying to figure it out as I go. I hope you're having a good Sunday, Gunter, and everyone. Thanks for choosing to spend a little bit of it with me, with us. Speaking of Game of Thrones, I've been watching the A Night of the Seven Kingdoms show, and I'm not sure about it yet. I don't know if I have an opinion just yet. I think the kid that plays Egg is really cute. That's all I got. Almost forgot this is gonna be a regular session now. Yeah, hopefully we can keep it up. I don't know, I haven't been feeling the best the past few days. I think I might be fighting something, but I was like, I gotta do my Sunday stream, my studio Sunday stream. And I'm glad I did, because it's really nice. Really nice way to end the week or start the week, depending on how you think about it. I'm gonna create a little bit more of a dark mixture over here. Some ultramarine blue and burnt umber. A little alizarin crimson. Oh, Gunter, you missed that I sneezed. I sneezed earlier. Bringing back some shadows here. Bless you, thank you. Okay. Let's keep working our way to the foreground. A little bit of pink there. And I'm mostly using Naples yellow and neutral gray to lighten my mixture. I'm not dipping into the white hardly at all. I only use the white for the sky. I think when I was starting out with gouache, I relied on white too much, or I introduced it to my palette too soon. I'm adding some now. And then my mixes would just get sort of muddy and blah. Add a little neutral gray. It's neutral, but I do find it leans cool, so it can kind of cool this mixture down a little bit. And I feel like this sort of flatter area of rock is reflecting the sky a little bit more, so it is a little bit cooler. The Adventures of Amina and Al Sarafi is a great fantasy adventure book, and I think there's a sequel coming out this year. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna look into that. Having a coffee break. Miss Adopt-A-Cat, I always look forward to seeing you have posted a new video. Is there a YouTube artist that you look forward to watching? Oh, that's a good question. I really like Chris Holmes' videos. And more recently, M. Roulé art. She has really good videos. How about you guys? What other art YouTubers do you guys like to watch? What's your favorite sewing project so far? Oh, that's hard. Well, the most worn sewing projects is definitely my Pomona pants by Anna Allen. Her sewing patterns are really good. But I think my personal favorite is this little, I made a little handbag for a wedding I went to in the summer, and something about it I just really love. I wish I could show a picture of it, but yeah, it's just like a little linen handbag. And I've made a lot of dresses, but I don't know, I feel like I don't wear dresses enough. Oh, put some neutral gray, but that's way too much. If any of you guys sew, feel free to tell me what your favorite sewing projects are. I love Chris Hong and M. Rouleau art too. Might be M. Rouleau art, I might be saying it wrong. I also like Sarah Burns and Jess Karp. Oh yeah, they're great. Jared Cullum, I really like his videos. He's really great at gouache as well. I recently rewatched a really old Chris Hong video. Like it was like 9 years old or something, and I got jump scared because I saw I had left a comment way before I had started making videos. I just didn't expect to see my YouTube channel like in the comment section. It's like, whoa, I've been here before. Oh, Nicolas Uribe, I love his YouTube videos. He doesn't post as much anymore, because I think he's focusing more on his Patreon right now, but he has so much content, because he was live streaming, I think, weekly for a long time. So there's lots of good stuff to go back and watch on Nicolas's channel. Mostly oil painting. He is incredible. He has more shorts, but Andrew Kadima and Jess Karp and Chris Hong. Yeah, Andrew Kadima started posting some more long form videos on his YouTube channel. He's a wizard. He's so good. I can't believe he follows my Instagram. And he comments sometimes on my posts, and I'm like, I'm not worthy. He's even purchased stuff from my store before. He's a really nice person, as well as being insanely good at what he does. I like this. We just get to fangirl over different artists. That's fun. Jess Carp, Tiffany Mang. Oh, I don't know Tiffany Mang. Ultramarine. And yours, of course, yes, Ultramarine. Oh yeah, Ultramarine's here. She said, hello, I've been here the whole time painting together but couldn't type much. That's okay. Thank you for being here. I've been loving seeing your oil paintings recently. It makes me want to get back to it. So now I'm just taking this warmer color here and I'm using it as sort of a transition color for the edge of this shadow shape. I'm not super crazy on how I've captured this area here though. It's kind of sloppy. I think both of these paintings I've pretty much done entirely with a 3/4 inch flat brush, which is kind of a fun little challenge. Keeps things loose. A little cad red light here. Just followed Jared Cullum. Incredible art indeed. Yes, he's really good. I see Chris Hong influence in your latest watercolor sketches on the Patreon. Oh wow, yeah, totally. Her watercolor paintings are very inspirational for me. That's so cool that you could see that. Yeah, if you don't know, I share all of my sketches at the end of every month on Patreon. I upload high-res scans, and this month I had some watercolor sketches because I'm trying to improve my watercolor skills this year. Just grabbed some more paper towel. Let's see. I can recommend the Wild Pencils channel. She has a super interesting approach to gouache. Okay, very cool. I'm gonna check them out. Evie Black says, I've been working on my first ever commission while watching the live. I'm really happy. Oh, that's awesome. Way to go on the commission. I hope it's going well. Bianca, it's looking amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's like a few things I'm not stoked about, but I'm just trying to remember. It's just a study. I think there's some really fun shapes in here. I think this area got a little squishy squashy, but we can go back in and fix it. But yeah, I wanna keep these studies loose and just trying to learn here. I feel the 100 landscapes coming on. Oh my goodness. Should I? I would definitely learn a lot, but 100 is a lot. Do you ever paint outdoors on location? Asks Frank. No, I haven't done that since art school, but that's something I would love to do more of. I think I'm a little shy. And yeah. Maybe if it wasn't in a super populated area. But I would love to do that more. Oh, got a dog hair right here. Luckily it's dry. Sometimes I'm not so lucky. She's not even in this room, but she's everywhere, that dog. Okay. Okay, I feel like this is dry enough that I can fix some of that. But I also, oops, I just got white paint on my finger. I also might add a little bit of something sort of between this shadow and this greenish color here. Okay, I'm gonna take my number 2 round brush, which I didn't use at all for this painting, but I think it will be just the right tool for the job here. I feel like I use my round brushes less and less. Well, especially for these landscapes, I just feel like I like to stick to the flat brush. You can always make it less than 100. Yeah, I should give myself a challenge like that. 25 or 50. Gentle with Giants, Plein Air Easton in Maryland is really casual and fun event. Oh, cool. Really cool. I wonder if there's something like that here in Montreal. Maybe painting in your garden or from a balcony could be a great way to get into it. Yeah. Yeah, that way it's still sort of a private space, but outside, for sure. Okay, I said I was gonna paint over here, but then my brain got really into the idea of painting these sort of warm little rocky spots right here, so we'll come back to that other thing. Oops. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go this way. I'm kind of blocking ya. But I do feel like I have to go this way to get the right mark. Same struggle here with cat hair. Oh yeah, they like to be involved. But then cats can come right up onto the desk, right? So might be even more of a problem. Gentle Giants. I went and painted a little at their quick draw. Everyone was so encouraging and fun, would recommend. And there were quite a few gouache painters, surprisingly. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to go to more in-person events. How's everyone's paintings or drawings coming? Everyone that was doing their own thing. I've been a victim of that before. Cat jumps on paints and such. Oh boy. Do you think they're clueless, or do you think part of them knows that they're causing trouble? I'm actually taking some light blue here and mixing it into this mix. And there's sort of a spot right here that's quite cool. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know, maybe one of those instances where it's in the reference, but I didn't really need it. Maybe if I used a flat brush, I would have liked it better. Cats were like, what are these random goop doing on my desk? Aw. My desk. My cat Juno 100% knows he's causing trouble, but he's the sweetest spoiled boy, so we never get mad. No, we can never get mad. Their little faces. Totally got distracted from what I was going to do, but that's usually how it goes. Just saw a little bit of coolness up here, so I wanted to add a little lilac to the mix. Sort of like at this point, I know it's not super accurate. Not all of the shapes are super accurate, but I'm still learning a lot, and and I'm liking how it's looking, so that's good. Sorry for the silence. I feel like it's that point of the painting where I'm just really focusing on all these little shapes. I gotta say, I am enjoying landscapes more than I thought I would. Gunter says bye for now, Em. I'll check in next day, Sunday. Tomorrow is gonna be a long day. Oh man, or next week, Sunday. Sorry about that, Gunter. Thanks for joining us, and I hope I see you next week. My cat, you know. Oh yeah, I read that. Cats are like, they're just too cute. It's their world and I'm just living in it. Oh yeah. Yurino, hi from France. I just wanted to say I love your art so much. You made me start gouache. I purchased your brushes set for Christmas. You're an amazing and so inspiring. Thank you so much. Oh, that's so wonderful. Thank you. I don't know if someone mentioned it, but Love Life Drawing is also a great channel, helped me with my figure drawing. Yes, I agree with that. Hold on, I'm just gonna look up their channel. Yeah, so I actually have an interview on Love Life Drawing if you guys haven't seen it. Yeah, I actually have an interview on the Love Life Drawing channel. It's 11 months ago, but yeah, Kenzo's a really, really nice guy, and his videos are really helpful as well. Okay, so I feel like I've been kind of lazy with this foreground. So I think the next steps here are going to be to bring this forward and start to add some lighter moments here on the rocks. I almost find that this foreground, because there's so much less information, it's almost harder. I'm gonna take my larger brush just so I don't get too lost in little shifts. And I'm gonna mix some more paint so I have a good amount. Dennis. Oh, hi, Dennis. Love the shadows on the inner part of the rocks. Thank you. Yeah, I think those shapes are what really drew me to this reference. Yeah, I'm finding this foreground area kind of difficult. The shifts are just so subtle. And I find this area in the reference kind of confusing. There is like a dark ledge shape here, but I don't really want to include that because I think it will be distracting. Okay. I think I'm almost done with this guy. I'm just gonna bring back in a few shadow moments. hope all your paintings or drawings at home are going well. Carve out that shadow boulder shape a little bit more. Hello from Greece. I love your style. Thanks for the live stream. What do you mostly focus on when doing studies? I'm a perfectionist trying to shift perspective. Yeah, so when I sit down to do a study, I really think about what it is I want to focus on with that study. What's the goal of studying the thing that we're studying? And for me, the answer usually isn't a perfect painting. So it might be that I'm going to focus on lighting and, the light and shadow shapes. It might be a value study. But yeah, it's a good idea to go in with sort of at least a little bit of a game plan. And I just like to remind myself that the goal isn't to make a finished painting here. I'm just trying to learn. Okay. My toddler took over my sketchbook. Oh no. That's so funny. That's sweet though. I suppose you could get them their own sketchbook, but I'm sure they would just want whatever you were using. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't have a better answer for you there. I'm amazed at the detail you can create with a large flat brush. Oh, thank you. I actually find I can get, this might be silly, or this might sound crazy, but I find I can get better detail with a large flat brush than I can with a little round brush. I find when I use a little round brush, my shapes are too, globby, and I feel like I have more control with the flat brush. I can get flat edges and nice triangle or rectangular shapes. I almost might be ready to peel the tape. I feel like a tape peel often reveals to me what's needed in the composition. I was kind of sloppy with my brush, but oh well. Okay, I think I'm gonna peel the tape. I probably could have simplified, especially this area, even more, but I think I'm happy with this as a study, you know? Just hopped in. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, Living Dead Girl. I've seen you here for a long time, so I really appreciate your support on the channel. Isabel, hello from New Zealand. Love your vibes and beautiful style. Thank you so much, Isabel. Okay, I'm going to mute my microphone so I can use the blow dryer to soften the tape. So I'll be right back. Okay, we did pretty good in that there was no paper ripping. I think I'm just gonna add a few final details here, but I don't know, I might come back into this study off stream at some point because I'm not super satisfied with it. I think I could lighten the sky a little bit towards the horizon line. And I think I could definitely add at least one or two more lighter values. Linga said, I love rocks, but I found them a very challenging subject. Very nice results. Thank you. They are super challenging. Yeah, I enjoyed the challenge though. It's nice to try something different. Oh, I forgot I marked up the underside of this rock here. So I need to fix that. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. She says as she continues to add more. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it here. Maybe I'll work on it more off camera, or maybe I'll just say, hey, it's a study, and I'll leave it at that. But thank you guys so much for joining me for another Studio Sunday. The recording of these streams will of course be on the channel under the live tab. Friend says, I don't know how you'll be able to do these weekly streams, but they are such a nice highlight of this cold winter, how long you'll be able to do these. Yeah, we'll see how long they go. I am really enjoying them, and yeah, it's just a really nice time spending time with you guys. Thanks for having us, Emily. Thank you. Thank you guys. If you're interested in my sketchbook set with Etcher, it'll be linked down below. I've got this Cutie Pie palette and this Cutie Pie sketchbook. And yeah, it also includes 90 days free access to my gouache portrait class on Etcher Lab, a little gouache color mixing guide, and an art print and some stickers. So yeah, that'll be linked below. My brush set will be linked below. My gouache subscription box will be linked below. Yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead, and I'll see you guys for another Studio Sunday next Sunday. Bye guys. Thank you so much. Bye Dennis. Bye Sozy. Bye Linga. Bye Isabel. Bye Autumn. Love spending my morning with fellow artists. Me too. All right. Thank you guys.